G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Go Battle League, and the Great League is back in Season 7. I did upload another video with my first 10 games, so I'll link that and you can check that out. But I am running Diggersby, Skarmory and Galvantula, so the same team. I went 9-1 in those first 10, so pretty good. So we'll jump into this first one, and we've got Vigoroth on the lead. So you're going to swap straight out into Skarmory because its charge moves are going to be less than effective. So they're not swapping out, so that's interesting. Potentially they've got something, well, they mustn't have a very good counter for Skarmory, otherwise obviously they would swap in. So it'd be interesting to see what they have in the back, and got a shield there, which is very interesting. And I'll throw another Sky Attack, which almost does enough to take it out. They are able to get to another charge move, but what I'm going to do is shield this up and win switch. So I could have either taken the switch advantage or shield advantage, and I went with switch. So out comes a Flygon, which is an interesting one. I don't really think it's a meta pick, but it is an interesting one. So we'll see what comes through. Stone Edge comes through, and that's absolutely fine with me. And out comes a Swampert. So going to throw the Earthquake. I get their last shield, and then just going to swap into my Galvantula here. I'm going to let this first one go through, and it is a Surf, so not running the Hydro there. Going to over farm just with one Volt Switch before I throw the Lunge. The Lunge will be doing quite a bit of damage, but not quite enough to take it out. They are going to Surf me, and then I am going to be able to charge up a little bit of extra energy, but I don't want to be hit by a Surf, so I'm going to throw that now. Able to do enough damage to take that out, and then charge up to the Earthquake and throw that on the Flygon, and that's going to be a good game. So able to take that first game pretty comfortably. So I had a bit of a spice pick there in Flygon. I guess it does have some play, but a bit niche, and didn't have the best matchup against me. So happy days, able to take that game. So we've got Diggersby into Diggersby. So the one to watch for here is, so one, you want to try and get an extra fast move through, which I did manage to do. And then you want to shield up the Earthquake. So there's the Earthquake. So that's really good for me, shielding that Earthquake up. And then I'm going to throw an Earthquake of my own. They decide not to shield that up. That's fine. And then again, I'm going to look to try and get a extra move through, but unfortunately that time I wasn't able to do it. And they go back-to-back Earthquakes, which is absolutely fine. And I'm going to do the same thing. So we'll see what they want to do there. And they decide to let it go. Out comes an Azumarill. So I do have quite a bit of health left on my Diggersby, so I decided to swap that out, and they counter with a Shadow Mawile, so that's not ideal for my for Skarmory. However, I am going to be able to soak a lot of that energy, so they just farm me completely down. I am going to be able to soak a lot of that energy onto my Diggersby here. I'm going to let this go because if it's a power-up punch, it doesn't matter, and it is the power-up punch, so that's really good for me. I'm going to let this go as well, and we'll see, yep, another power-up punch, so that's absolutely fine. Able to get to a Fire Punch here, and it does enough to take it out, so they leave that go with the shields. I'm going to throw straight into the discharge here, and they let it go. So they were banking on a lunge bait there. I'm going to be able to shield this up, and then look to just farm down. They shouldn't be able to do enough damage with an Ice Beam here to KO me, and my last Volt Switch is going to take them out there. So good game, able to come take that one back pretty well. So come back from a questionable secondary, well, primary and secondary matchup to take that game. So Swampert on the lead again. This is not ideal for me, so I'm going to swap straight into the Skarmory here. I'm going to go straight into the Brave Bird, and we'll see if they want to throw that shield up, and unfortunately they do throw the shield up, so this is real bad for me here. So able to get to the Icy Wind there, and that's going to be doing enough. So here I want to try and get to a Sky Attack before they can get to a second Icy Wind. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do it, so I'm going to have to say goodbye to the Skarmory there and look to farm down with the Galvantula. Unfortunately, with 1 HP, they're able to get to the Icy Wind, and yeah, really unfortunate. But I do have a lunge stored, and it is actually a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So for this, I'm just trying to think what I need to do. So Surf comes through, and I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake here. We'll see what they want to do. So if they don't shield this up, unfortunately they do. But if they didn't shield that up, I was looking really good. But I do have 2 shields, so I'll be able to shield that one up and get to the move. Unfortunately, we CMP tie, and they get to their Surf before my Earthquake comes through. So really unfortunate there. Throw this Earthquake, and that's going to be enough to take it out. So I swap in to catch some energy. So I'm hoping to catch an Earthquake here. Unfortunately, it is just a Rock Slide, but I am still able to catch that, and then waiting for another Rock Slide to come through. There's the Rock Slide, does absolutely no damage. Get to the Earthquake, and that's going to be a good game there. So would have been ideal to be able to get a lunge off on the Galvantula there. But either way, I wanted to either get the lunge off or catch an Earthquake, because I assumed an Earthquake was going to be coming through. But as you saw, they tried to double Rock Slide me, which didn't work out for them. So we've got a Alolan Marowak on the lead, and this is a really good lead for me. They're usually running Bone Club and Shadow Ball or Shadow Bone, and both of those moves are pretty useless there. So I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake here and see if they want to shield this up. So got the first shield, absolutely fine. I'll let this go again, and we'll see what they decide to do. It is the Shadow Bone, and again, that's an even worse. So the option is definitely throw the Bone Club there. Shadow Bone, I guess you look at getting a chance to get a defense debuff, but it's not ideal. So out comes a Dugong here, and unfortunately, I'm not quite able to get to a discharge before they're able to get to their Icy Wind. So I'm going to charge up a little bit of extra, but get the discharge off before they're able to get to another Icy Wind. I was hoping that would KO, but unfortunately it did not. So I'm going to shield up and save some energy here. So out comes the Marowak, and I'm going to throw my lunge just because I am an absolute fool, but not able to get to another move there. And now I'm going to throw my Fire Punch to do some chip damage, and then swap straight out into my own Skarmory and ensure I get the win here. So we'll see what they want to do here. Whether they decide to Brave Bird or not. Nope, no Brave Bird. So that's absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is save up to 2 Sky Attacks here and throw the first one and look to try and get my second one off before they're able to get to the Brave Bird. And this should be enough to KO from this range. It is. Out comes the Marowak. It's going to be able to Shadow... Well, if it decides to Shadow Bone me, it will take me out. But that does mean I will be able to come in with the Diggersby, and I got a little bit greedy there, so I've thrown the Shadow Bone, not quite enough to do the damage, and I decided to throw the Fire Punch and to take it out. So I should have just thrown the Fire Punch right from the start. Almost cost me the game, but was able to take that game. So I've got to keep up with the Marowak there. So 4 to get to a Bone Club, and 5 I think to get to a Shadow Bone. So we've got Beedrill on the lead, and because it's running Poison, this is absolutely spectacular for me. Usually they're running Drill Run and, yep, Fell Stinger, which boosts its attack, so that's absolutely fine. I'm going to throw the Fire Punch here. It's going to be doing super effective damage, but they did manage to get a swap out into the Ninetales. So that is a normal Ninetales, but it's shiny, and they decide to no-shield that. Out comes the Skarmory, and I'm going to meet that. Out comes the Altaria, and I'm going to meet that with my own Skarmory. So this is looking really quite nice for me, because I do have a very, very healthy, well, full health Galvantula in the back, and a healthy Diggersby as well. So going to look to shield this one up because the Dragon Breaths are pretty oppressive for anything else. But because of the steel typing, it is obviously going to be doing neutral damage here. So want to force this down as much as possible before I let it go. And then I will come out with the Galvantula and look to farm this down before it's able to get to another move. Out comes, and I'm just going to throw my lunge straight into the Beedrill there. I'm going to shield this up even though it's, yeah, there you go. It is a Fell Stinger, but there's no point taking the risk there. Just going to throw the Fire Punch, and that's going to be doing a lot of damage there, and they leave the game because it is good game there. So really good matchups for me. Had really strong counters to a lot of things in their team, and was able to go 5-0 in that set. So absolutely spectacular. So able to go 14 out of 15 so far, and unfortunately reality is going to strike in this next set. So we've got Fluffy, which is good. Managed to get the excellent throw. I'll link to a video about improving excellent throws if you want to check that out. But like I said, this next set is going to be a bit of a reality check, unfortunately, but we'll see how we go. So might as well show the good with the bad, and getting up here, so not completed many games, but starting to level up a little bit, and we're starting to meet a lot more meta teams, as you can compare to my first two sets yesterday compared to this one. So very, very different setups on Pokemon teams. So we've got a Rhyperior out here, so that's an interesting one. So I say lots of meta picks, but this is not the case. So for this one, I am actually going to shield this up. So commit the shield here, and then look to throw my Bug Buzz here, and well, lunge I should say, and then win switch advantage, which is nice. Out comes the Skarmory. Out comes the Scrafty, and I will be able to match up my Scrafty to this, which is a lot better matchup for me. Not going to shield this up, expecting this to be the foul play, but I'd much rather wait until they got a boost before shielding it up. And now this one I am actually expecting a power-up punch. Thankfully it is. So looking to over-farm that quite a lot there. And then throw the Sky Attack straight away. Unfortunately, don't get the shield here, but I'm able to get to another Sky Attack, so that's looking really, really nice for me. And now I'm able to get the shield. So I want to swap this out because I know this thing is going to Icy Wind me, but they decide to Shadow Ball. So that is absolutely huge. Whether they're not running Icy Wind, but they decide to Shadow Ball, and then they get to another charge move. I'm going to let this one go as well, but it is the Icy Wind, so why on earth didn't they throw that last time? Maybe they just missed they swap out there. Able to get to the Earthquake because I didn't have enough, my switch clock wasn't up, so couldn't clear that debuff, but it was enough to take it out. So good game on that first one. A bit interesting there, but was able to take that game. So we'll jump into the next one and see what we get. So I did say this was going to be a rough set, and let it begin. So Azumarill on the lead, really bad for me. So swap into my Skarmory, hoping they get swap out, so I can get this matched up with my Galvantula later on down the line. But they look like they're staying in, so I'm going to over farm quite a bit here and throw the Sky Attack, and we'll see what they want to do. So they let that go, which is fine. I'm also going to let this one go, and we'll see what they want to do. So Sky Attack, not quite enough to take me out, but now I'm just going to throw straight into the Brave Bird here, and I get the shield, which is fine, but it does mean that they're not really able to farm me down, even though yeah, they sort of did. And then I'm going to come in with my Galvantula, look to farm this down. We'll see if they want to stay in here, which they are, and then I am able to charge them down, which is perfect. So out comes a Hypno here, and I've got to remember they've got a Scrafty in the back. So first one goes through, and I'm able to land it. They decide to no shield. Second one comes through, and there's their shield gone. So what I want to do here is, yeah, so unfortunately it wasn't able to swap out, but now I'm going to try and swap out on their charge move, and I am able to catch it on the Diggersby, and out comes their Scrafty. So unfortunately here is not looking ideal for me, so I'm going to have to charge up some extra energy here and really hope that I'm able to KO the Scrafty, so they get energy. So I'm going to have to throw my lunge straight away. Got very little health and didn't charge up to back-to-back lunges. So out comes the Hypno, and it's able to fast move farm me down. So really close game there. Yeah, but was not to be. So possibly should have. Yeah, they had reasonable counters to me there, so there's not really a whole lot I can do. And we'll jump into the next one, and we have a Swampert on the lead, so really awful matchup, and I swap into my Skarmory to try and catch the Hydro Cannon. It is the Hydro Cannon, and we'll see what they want to come out with. They come out with a Charizard. That is just brutal. So we'll see what we get here. So I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, get the shield, which is good, but they've committed to the farm down, so they've got a lot of energy on this Charizard, which is just very unfortunate for me. So we're going to come out with the Diggersby, and I let this go, hoping for the Dragon Claw bait. This is going to be a Dragon Claw here, but they've already landed the one that does the most damage, so unfortunate for me. So I'm going to throw the Fire Punch, get it down a little bit, and then come out with the Galvantula. Unfortunately, they get to another charge move. This is just brutal. They're just absolutely getting those charge moves out because they were able to farm the Skarmory all the way down. So that's really not good for me. Swampert comes back out with a move charged, and I'm going to have to shield this up. So let's see if I can take this out. And my Volt Switch went through, but they were able to get to the Hydro Cannon before it registered, so they're able to take me out. And that's good game. So had I been able to take them out, so end the game there, had I been able to get that last Volt Switch through, I was in with a chance because I would have been able to instantly throw the lunge on the Roserade. And it would have been debuffed, and we would have had resisted moves. But it is what it is, isn't it? So again, next one, get another Scrafty on the lead and swap into my Skarmory, and they have an Alolan Raichu as the counter. Absolutely brutal. So just go for the Brave Bird here, because if they don't shield that up, it's going to be doing a lot more damage. They get another Volt Switch through it and take me out. So here, I'm not 100% sure what to do, so I come in with the Galvantula to farm it down and get a little bit of extra energy. So in comes their Venusaur, and Venusaur, it's an Ivysaur. In comes the Ivysaur, and I'm going to shield this up because I'm expecting it to be, there it is, the Sludge Bomb, and then going to instantly throw into my next one and hopefully do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually do as much damage as I was anticipating, and I am going to have to shield this Sludge Bomb up. So going to look to farm all the way down and try and swap and catch a charge move, but it looks like we both had the same plan. Unfortunately, my swap is not good for me. Swapping into a Diggersby versus a Scrafty, really not ideal. Would have actually liked to throw the lunge on this and debuff it, and then I would have been able to have potentially a little bit more play, but unfortunately there goes their last shield. I'm going to have to throw my lunge on the Scrafty because I don't want it throwing a foul play and taking me out. Out comes the Ivysaur. It's got a move charge, and it's going to take me out with, again, 1 HP. Absolute dreams for these opponents getting these very, very close wins. Really frustrating, but you can't win them all, especially when you get very unfavourable lead matches, followed by hard counters in the follow-up match. So we'll jump into the next one, and we get our Medicham here. So Medicham I was expecting to see a lot of. What I've got to remember is they've got a lot of energy stored on that Medicham. Medicham's going to be fairly good in the back for them, and we'll see what they want to do. So out comes the Diggersby, throws the Fire Punch. It's obviously going to do pretty well in this matchup. I'm going to shield this up because I'm going to force them to either shield this up or lose switch, and they decide to lose switch. So interesting here, and we'll see how that goes. So out comes a Azumarill and rocking the very meta team that is Azumarill and Medicham. I swap into the Diggersby, and unfortunately they've got the Hydro. I do know my win condition here is Galvantula, so I just let it go. Unfortunately, I didn't realise they didn't take me out, so I just stopped attacking. So I got them a few free fast moves there to farm down my Diggersby without doing any damage back. So through comes a Psychic, which is fine. Going to throw the Lunge. They decide to let that go. I swapped out because I wanted to try and catch a charge move. In fact, all I did was not get some energy for myself and give them a little bit of extra farm on the Azumarill, which meant they can get to another Hydro Pump before I can get to my charge move, and they take the game. So brutal games there. And only managed to go 1 out of 5. So 14 out of 15, now 15 out of 20. So hopefully that was useful for someone. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.